What's up everyone? Welcome to 3D Print Star Wars, and today, update on the R2-D2 build. Okay, let me bring you up to speed on where I'm at. Last time I left you, I had just completed the body, the center foot was done, and the dome was complete. Of course, all the inner workings of the dome, all the panels, all the greeblies that go in here, and all that's all been printed. I did redo the dome because the last dome I had was from my older printer, and it just did not print as well as I wanted to. With my new CR10, everything is flawless. I have this thing dialed in. But let me take you on a tour of where I'm at, so I can bring you up to speed. So here's where I'm at right now. Again, body is completely 100% done, complete, all printed. The body is assembled and glued, but all the greeblies that are associated with it, like all these panels here, all the way to the back, these drawers, these arms that come out, they're all printed. They're all sitting in these boxes here. It's the same thing with the dome. The dome is glued around except for this top part because I am still sanding and whatnot. I might have to reprint that. Who knows? But there's a Lazy Susan in there and the gear that's going to turn so the whole dome can turn by itself independently. I think as far as I've been thinking about this a lot, and I know for 100% fact I am going to put electronics in this thing. So the dome is going to probably swivel back and forth, of course, turn 360 degrees. There's going to be lights and whistles and all that stuff and all his sounds. I don't know right away if I'm going to make him move or go into the 2 feet to the 3 feet to the 2 feet configuration. He might just be a static statue, but with pretty much, all the audio and lights and stuff. So, but I am also preparing the files or on the prints that I'm doing to, in the future, if I do make that choice to go in there and put gears and make him remote control, I have prepared that. So for now, he's going to be a static life-size R2-D2. I am painting him the R2-D2 or Astromech. So when we get to that painting phase, he is going to be R2 with all the damage and everything, restraining bolt and all. So in the meantime, what I've been doing was the next step was to be the legs. Okay, so I need to print the right and the left leg. So not the feet yet, but the legs. So that's going to take, I've planned it out. It took me 4 spools of filament to do. So I have prepared a little montage of the printing process for both legs. That I'm not going to bore you with all the hundreds of hours that I've gone through. So I have time-lapse the footage for you, so just to see where we're at after that. So cue the montage. And here we are, this big pile of parts. This is both right and left leg, and I printed the right leg in gray and the left leg in black. Now, they're pretty much identical except for the horseshoe part of it, which is details and everything. And I'm going to make it, I have magnets and everything to where you can switch them back and forth, because in the films, this makes more sense when everything's assembled, but in the films, R2-D2's continuity is a little bit different. Sometimes the legs are backwards, or there's bolts that show this way, and then there's bolts on the reverse. So the way I'm doing it, I color coded it that way, but primarily they're the same thing. Now there's a couple more details being printed that is going to be on my resin printer with a small real defined details on the legs. So that comes later. But again, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to assemble these, dry fit these both legs in here so you can see what this big pile of mess actually becomes. And there you have it. 2 legs. Pretty damn cool when it's all assembled and everything looks like R2-D2 and rather than just a pile of parts. Again, there are some missing details in here, but again, that's coming. It's not going to affect the build at all as far as time-wise and everything. It's just going to be added stuff that I have to print, sand, paint, and then add later. Nothing is bolted. It's just dry fit, and I'm telling you, this is exciting because when you see pieces like this come together, when it's all fitted and it looks like a piece, it's amazing. I can't wait to get onto the feet next, because that's the last thing I need to print is the feet and then the inner supports to hold for the body to hold these legs, because there's going to be a lot of weight on there, especially when you start adding electronics and motors and stuff. So I'm hoping that everything is going to be okay when it comes to the weight and all that stuff. So then after this, before I glue anything together, because again, I can start gluing sections of this stuff, but there is so much detail inside these little curves and nooks and crannies that I want to sand before I glue. I want to sand and paint them before I assemble everything, which makes a lot of sense. So I'll probably, within the next video or so, I'll probably be doing a lot of that stuff. Everybody, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting, and thank you for the patience as I delve into this project. I hope you get as much as satisfaction as I am doing this. It is a massive undertaking, and I do encourage anybody who wants to go and invest in a 3D printer to have pretty much their first project be at full length or full size R2-D2. Okay, it's amazing. You'll learn a lot. If you are interested, then you can head over to Mr. Badley. This is the instructions that he's printed out. He's designed this whole R2 unit to be full 100% 3D printed. The only mechanical or the only other parts you have to do is that Lazy Susan I mentioned, and I'll break that all down in future videos because this is just I wanted to get the shell done and everything for you before I start really putting this thing together. But Mr. Badley made this awesome R2 unit. He's part of the Astromech .net. If you can get all those details on that site too. Those are the guys that every convention that you see, the R2 units, these are the guys that build this stuff. So I'm in good hands when it comes to instructions, you know, assembly, information. It's all there. So with that, thank you very much for 3D Print Star Wars. Until the next video where I'm going to be pretty much assembling these legs, sanding them, and getting some paint down. Also on the dome and the body. The dome is going to be the main priority to get that Lazy Susan attached, make sure it's moving and it's not catching on anything before I start gluing all the panels and all that. That's going to be done. So I have more filament on order. I've got more nuts and bolts and electronics. Everything's on order. Everything's coming in. And I am very happy to be back into swing of things and making this project a dream come true, because for years and years and years I've always wanted an R2-D2. I mean, who doesn't want a full-size R2-D2 in their house, right? So any comments and questions, leave them there. I will be happy to answer as best I can. Or if you have any suggestions or comments to me on how I can do this better or film this better or document this better, that'd be great too. So I know I didn't get a lot of footage of the actual assembly or thing. I just wanted to make this a brief you know, to get or update on how I'm doing and what I'm doing, because if you listen to their podcast, which I hope you do, Sarlacc Digest Podcast, the guys give me a lot of flack for having a lot of irons in the fire and nothing being done. So with this project being about, I want to say 40% done, but then almost, I would say 90% printed. So we're about a 90% range all printed, but about 40% done as far as like knowing the assembly, just gluing everything and painting. Painting and sanding is going to be a nightmare, and I will try to do as many montages as I can on that, because I will not bore anybody about that process. And then, of course, paint matching and electronics. So, again, thank you everybody for watching and supporting listen to Sarlacc Digest Podcast, and subscribe to this channel, like this channel. So again, sarlaccdigestpodcast.com. Subscribe to this channel, like these videos, hit the bell notification for future content. We are dropping content like you believe, toy reviews. We're going to be doing a cookout recipes, maybe, I don't know. More of these builds are going to be coming. I do have a full shore trooper that I am working on too, but you know what, one thing at a time. If one thing has taught me, just complete this first. I mean, this is a massive undertaking project, so I got to complete this one too first, or get it to a point where, you know, if I have to print some things out for another build, I'm in the process of painting this. So anyway, juggling those two things back and forth. Anyway, thank you everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.